Case Summary. Holwell Securities Ltd v. Hughes, 1974, 1 WLR 155 is a significant case in English contract law, particularly in the area of offer and acceptance. This case revolves around the principles of postal acceptance and the requirement for notice of acceptance in the context of contract formation. Background facts. Claimant, plaintiff, Holwell Securities Ltd. Defendant, Dr. Hughes. Facts of the case. Holwell Securities Ltd. intended to exercise an option to purchase property from Dr. Hughes. The option agreement, which was in writing, stipulated that the exercise of the option should be by notice in writing to the vendor at any time within 6 months from the date hereof. On April 14, 1972, Holwell Securities posted a letter exercising the option, but the letter never reached Dr. Hughes. Argument. Claimant's argument. Holwell Securities argued that the contract was binding upon posting the acceptance letter, invoking the postal rule, which typically states that acceptance is complete once a letter is posted, even if it is not received by the offeror. Defendant's argument. Dr. Hughes contended that the option had not been validly exercised because he never received the notice. He argued that the specific requirement of notice in writing implied that actual communication of the acceptance was necessary rather than just posting the letter. Final outcome and legal justification. Outcome. The Court of Appeal held in favor of Dr. Hughes, ruling that the option had not been validly exercised because the notice in writing had not been received. Legal justification. The court concluded that the postal rule did not apply in this case due to the specific terms of the option agreement. The requirement for notice in writing meant that actual communication of the acceptance was necessary. The court distinguished this case from general postal rule cases by emphasizing the specific contractual requirement for notice. The judges highlighted that the postal rule is a common law principle applied to mitigate the uncertainties of postal communication. However, parties can contract out of this rule by specifying that actual notice is required. In this case, the terms of the option agreement explicitly required that the acceptance must be communicated to the offeror, thus actual receipt was necessary. Key concept. Implication. The decision in Holwell Securities Ltd v. Hughes underscores the importance of specific contractual terms in determining the requirements for acceptance. It demonstrates that while the postal rule is a well-established principle, it is not absolute and can be overridden by explicit contractual provisions requiring actual notice. Learning points. 1. Parties should clearly specify the method and requirements for acceptance in their contracts. 2. The postal rule is not applicable if the contract expressly requires actual receipt of acceptance. 3. It is essential to understand and adhere to the specific terms of the contract to ensure valid acceptance and contract formation. This case serves as a crucial precedent for understanding the limitations of the postal rule and the necessity of adhering to specific contractual stipulations regarding acceptance.